Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be making ginger tea, or as we call it in India, adrak ki chai. Adrak is basically the Hindi word for ginger. So the ingredients I'm going to use today are milk, some tea leaves. I'm using tea bags today, and this is Darjeeling tea. You can use Darjeeling tea or Assam tea or even Ceylon tea. All of these are black teas originating either from India or from Sri Lanka. And you need sugar. So this is the sugar I'm using. This is called turbinado sugar or sugar in the raw sugar, whatever you call it. You can of course use white sugar, whatever you would normally use as a sweetener. And there I have about half a cup of water. The optional ingredient is a cardamom and fennel seed powder. So that I really like to add because cardamom gives a beautiful aroma to it, and fennel does add a little bit of sweetness to the tea. That's optional, but these are the key ingredients. So let's go ahead and start making the tea. So we'll take a pot and I'll switch on the heat. I'm keeping the heat at high and we'll pour in half a cup of water. So the ratio of water to milk, it varies from household to household. I add twice the amount of water to milk. That keeps the tea nice and light. However, I've seen a lot of my friends, they do not like it. They prefer it to be thick. So either they use the ratio of 1:1, 1 part milk to 1 part water, or they even just use only milk. They skip out water altogether. But this is my personal preference. I do not like tea to be very heavy, and so this is how I like it. You can experiment with it. I mean, this is just a rough guideline. You can always tweak it to your preference. I think the one that you get in Starbucks Chai Tea Latte, that's available in Starbucks, they do use a higher ratio of milk. I think they would be using 1 part milk to 1 part water. So see how you like it and you can tweak it accordingly. So this is the water that is I have already added. To this I will be adding about a teaspoon of grated ginger. Now you can use powdered ginger as well, but I think the fresh ginger is it gives a slightly different flavor, as in it is very warming, and especially if you wake up on a cold morning, if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, this kind of a ginger tea using fresh ginger is incredibly therapeutic. I love to have this whenever I'm waking up, I feel a cold coming on. And now we'll quickly add in the tea bag and let this come to a boil. And sugar, of course, you add as per your preference. I will be adding 1 teaspoon. And now you let this come to a boil. Now how much you boil also again varies from person to person. I try to follow a little bit of Ayurveda, and as per Ayurveda, you should not be boiling black tea, for more than 3 minutes, because tea, just like coffee, it has caffeine, it does become very acidic, and we don't want to be taking in too much acid in our body. So I just limit it to about 3 minutes, and once it has been boiling for about 2 minutes, I pour in the milk. This is cold milk, so it does stop the boiling. And now after adding the milk, we'll just let the flavors blend in, and I'll keep it on the stove for another minute, and then we'll pour it into our cup. I'll turn off the heat now. Because we have used grated ginger, I will be using a sieve. You can also add in a bit of fennel seed powder, fennel and cardamom seed powder. I'll just add in about a 1/4 teaspoon here. Now just sieve it. So this is my cup of ginger tea. I usually have this every morning. This recipe is not exactly as per Ayurveda. Perhaps I would do another recipe because in the Ayurvedic recipe we do use a lot of spices, and each of the spices has a purpose. Like in this one I added cardamom. Cardamom works to reduce the acidity in the tea, and that is why it is even recommended that you add a little bit of cardamom in your coffee. Similarly, the other spices also have a function. So I'll perhaps do a video sometime in the future. But for today, hope you enjoyed watching this recipe and give this a try. Let me know how you like it. Take care. Bye bye.